Once you find your way on your mat, feet are hips width distance, maybe even a little wider, whatever feels good in your body right now. Let the feet be heavy, maybe even start to wiggle out the toes. Keep a nice generous bend in the knees and start to even just notice how the body's feeling right now. If there's nervous or fidgety energy still wanting to circulate, let's go ahead and move that out of the body first and then land in stillness. Once you decide to be still, see if you can just notice where the body does want to move, where you transition to being the observer as to what's creating the discomfort in the stillness. Maybe you begin to notice the body, how it feels in this moment. Are there any areas where it feels tight and sticky? Maybe some tension built up. Maybe things are flowing and moving with ease. Assess for yourself where your body is at. Landing deeper with each exhale as the body starts to soften, heart space stays open, shoulders are relaxed back and down, and you continue to find length in your spine. As if the crown of your head is reaching up towards the ceiling or the space in which you are at. Now they have a good sense of where you're at physically. Let's take a look at the mind. Does it feel like it's moving easefully? Is there a calm hum to it? Does it feel overactive, kind of like the monkey mind? Lots of thoughts, ideas, things circulating up into the brain. Practicing just slowing down, taking the focus off of what is happening in the mind, maybe even dropping it down into the heart. I'm not sure whose quote it is, but there's a famous saying that says, the longest distance that you'll ever master is between the head and the heart. It's like 17 inches. And that's the practice that we get to have each and every time we show up on our mat. Finding that union, that cohesion between the mind, the heart, the body, and the spirit. And let's briefly take a look and see where we're at emotionally. How does the body feel? The mind, the heart. Any negative emotions, ones that are a little more dense? Shame, guilt, anger, resentment. Ones that are a little more neutral, just feeling good, at peace. Vibrating higher is the love, definitely peace. Or maybe just content, right balanced in the center. Notice the sounds that you hear in your space, my voice, the birds chirping in the music, maybe even ones chirping in your space that you can hear. Connect into the sounds, maybe something out in nature that you can hear.
You said I love you like a rainbow. I know what that means. You
Take
know
a
I love
moment to
you
just notice
the
the saliva in
same.
your mouth and what you taste in this moment.
I could never let go of you again. You said I love you like the
Take a sip of air in
rain.
through your nostrils and smell the air.
And the sound when it hits the roof. I don't know what I would do.
Something that you notice as a scent or a
If I
fragrance.
couldn't be close to you again. My skin feels like
You touch
lipstick
into the hands on your thighs,
was
maybe even just rubbing
cold
your
out of
fingers
world
together, index finger
missing.
and thumb, soles of your feet
We've
on your
seen
mat.
enough to know
Notice
how deep
what you
we're in.
feel in this moment.
But with you I feel, but with you I feel free. We've come through
And
the
lastly, if your eyes are
darkest
closed, you might not see
chapter
anything but darkness, maybe a hint of
to
light
a
creeping
new and
in.
brighter
Colors might be
morning.
flashing.
Who knows where this rainbow takes us to?
Maybe
As
you
long
even
as
visualize
we're
something in your
together.
mind's eye. What do you see?
Said you love me like no other.
And then anchored into all of our five senses just gives you a deeper
You
connection
know I
to
love
this
you
moment
just
in
the same.
time. Nothing else matters but the here and the now.
I could never
And we
let
get to
go of
be in
you
this
again.
moment with all of us.
Said you love me like the color
And as you draw in all of your energy, begin to notice the
in
breath
the
moving
earth
in and
and
out of
in the
your
sky.
body without changing anything.
When we spoke of
Notice
what
the
was
inhales
meant
and
for.
the exhales moving at its own pace.
Tears fell softly on you and
How does the breath move in your body today?
my skin feels like it's
Does it feel
thickening.
like it's moving
This cold
like a
hard
river,
world is sinking
steady and
in.
calm?
We've seen enough to know
Does the
how
breath
deep
feel like
we're
it's
in.
moving like a more like an ocean
But with
where
you I
waves are
feel,
crashing down,
but with
abrupt
you I
inhales
feel
and
free.
exhales?
We've come through the
Maybe it's fast
darkest chapter
moving. Maybe it's moving with
to a new and
a more
brighter
tranquil pace.
morning.
What's true
Who
for
knows
you in
where
your
this
breath right now?
rainbow will take us to as long as we're together. But with you I feel
From a
free.
place
We've
of
come
just
through the
observing, we aren't here to
darkest
judge any part of
chapter
our breath. We
to
just want to
a
make
new and
sure that we
brighter
know where we're starting from.
morning.
Because each
Who
time you
knows
show
where
up
this
to
rainbow will
practice
take us to
breath
as
and
long as we're
movement,
together.
there is a sense
Because
of a
with you
new
I
version of you showing
feel
up to the mat,
free.
where your
Because with
breath
you
is
I
constantly always
feel
changing based on what's
free.
happening in your
Because with
environments,
you I
in
feel
life.
free.
This is a practice to notice how you begin today. Because the biggest difference is from where you start right now to the end of your practice. That's the gauge that we use. And each time it tends to compound. Sometimes it feels worse, sometimes it feels exponentially better because the practice isn't linear. We aren't linear. I think of it more of like an upward spiral, an opening cone. With all that, allow all of the stale energy to release out of your belly. Get fully empty. At the bottom of your breath, lips come together. Inhale in through the nose. Feel the belly expand. Feel the ribs expand. Draw the breath all the way up to the top and pause. Audible release, let it go. Excellent. Once empty lips come together, inhale again in through the nose, slower, bigger, deeper. Can you allow just a little bit more breath to come into the body? What would you need to move out of the way? Once again, at the top, you hold full and feel the expansion that happens. It could be even slightly uncomfortable. And as you're holding, when you exhale, draw out longer than what you drew your breath in. Release, let it go. Maybe even you squeeze to make sure there's no breath left before you inhale again in through the nose, biggest breath you've taken. Fill up all the way up to the top. Once you think you're full, take an extra sip in, a little bit more, a little more expansive. Press up against your edges. Feel your capacity build. And once again at the top, you hold with this unforeseen pressure on the body. It's not bad. Just like a diamond, it's created under pressure. That's the same way that we work with the breath internally. Exhale, release, let it all go. Awesome. Once you're empty, let the breath return back to its natural pace, flowing in and out of the nose. And we join our hands at heart center. Take a moment to bring thumbs against the heart center and bow in reverence to this moment. You collect all your energy and set an intention for your practice today. What brought you to your mat? One word or a short phrase to help be your guide. Trust that what comes to mind first is perfect. The word that dropped in for me to share is connection. And to me, what connection means is a deeper sense of connection to your highest self. You have self with a lowercase s and self with a higher case s. And you are finding, just like I started the practice, the bridge between the mind and the heart. It's finding the bridge between yourself here in the physical and the highest version of yourself. Through your practice today, as you breathe and move with intention. Whatever you chose as your word or your phrase, we seal it in with a breath. Inhale in through the nose. Wide mouth, exhale, sigh it out, let it go. Awesome. Eyes get to flutter open and you start to bring some movement into the body. Start to wake up the wrists, the arms, going in all directions. And you're going to start to create a little bigger movement. So start to open up the shoulders and the chest. Softening through the shoulders, noticing any tension up in the neck and the upper back. Excellent. Opposite direction. Whichever way you are moving in. Maybe even wider arm circles. Our arms are connected to our hearts. Maybe your intention was to open the heart a little more. Beautiful. And then you're just going to give it a good shake out. Shake out the arms and the legs. Find some movement in your energy. Once it's starting to move, mobility in the spine, again, the legs and the arms, that momentum is easier for the breath to help circulate. Once you feel complete, your feet come back, hips width distance. Nice generous bend in the knees, spine is long, maybe even a smile on your face. Let's do a clearing breath together in through the nose. Open the mouth, let it go. Excellent. Inhale, arms out wide as if you're reaching out towards the sides of your space. Exhale, right arm swings behind, left comes to meet it right by your waist. Give yourself a little bit of a handshake. If that feels too much today, a hand can always come down by your side. Breathe in. Exhale, tuck the chin into the chest and roll left ear, left shoulder. Finding a nice angle with the chin up and around and relaxing the tension from the back of the ear down in through the shoulder blade. Once you found the sticky spot, just pause there and let your breath do the work. Together, breathe in and out. Through center, coming back to a neutral neck. Release the arms and just reset in the center. Inhale, arms out wide towards the edges of the room. Opposite side, left arm swings behind, right comes to meet it. Take a breath in. Exhale, tuck the chin into the chest and right ear, right shoulder this time, again, where you have the bind. See if you can find a little bit more release through the shoulders so that they're not creeping up into your ears. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Through center, coming back to a neutral neck. Release the arms and shake it out. Inhale, arms up for Tadasana. Big, tall stretch up towards the ceiling. Exhale, release and down. 2 more like that, Tadasana. You breathe in, big, tall stretch up out of the hips and the ribs. Exhale, release. Third one, big stretch up all the way as if someone's even pulling up on your fingertips. Feel just a little bit more space in between your ribs and hips. Exhale down. This time you're going to inhale, arms up, palms come to face each other. Let's go left hand, right wrist, biceps come back. You inhale again, you want to get longer. It's as if you're reaching for the ceiling first, and then using the left hand, if you choose to, you can pull yourself over into a side bend. Heart space stays open. Again, you want there to be space as if you are reaching out of the hips, out of the armpit. Don't let the body twist. Hip points stay square, knees are soft. Each exhale, you get a little deeper into the bend. This feels good in the body and you feel stable. Find a point that isn't moving, we add on. Left weight gets all of the weight. Right foot starts to step behind. Find your stability. Your toes are just there as an anchor. Getting into the front of the hip first. Still reaching out. Maybe curtsy to the back. Even more of a banana shape with the body. Again, keep the chest wide. Inhale. Exhale. Awesome. Through center, release the arms and reset. Opposite side, inhale, reach up tall. This time we're going to do right hand, left wrist. Biceps return back towards the ears so that they're long out of the side body. Again, inhale to get longer. Exhale, lean to your right hand side. Holding on to your wrist and giving it a little bit of a support is always helpful. Again, you're finding your balance. If it feels good, we can add on. Weight comes into the right foot fully. Left starts to open up. Getting longer through the side once again. Opening up the chest. Breathing into any places that have some tension. And then curtsying to the back if you wish. Again, every progression is a choice. You can try it. If it doesn't feel good today, you always have the chance to go back. You're looking for your edge each time, whatever that might be. Stay inhale, exhale. Beautiful. Reset through center, let everything go. Hands to the small of your back, fingertips towards the earth. Roll the shoulders back and down. Core is tight, so we're going to tuck the tail, engage the transverse abdomen. Chest is open and gaze is neutral. Breath in. Exhale, press into the hips for a back bend, opening up the chest, working your way up towards the ceiling with your gaze. Again, you're finding what feels like you can breathe through it, but it's like if I go just a bit further, I'm not going to be able to have a full nourishing breath. That's your edge. At that point, we pause, we take a lion's breath. You let the tongue hang out, you let something go. Breathe in. Lion's breath out. Return back to standing. Spine is straight, arms release. Resetting breath in the center. Inhale. Open mouth. Exhale again. Breathe in. Exhale, hinging from the hips. They press to the back of the room as your upper body finds its way into today's first forward fold. Start to let the upper body soften. Back of the legs and your hamstrings and your calves are probably pretty tight. Take a second to just let the breath start to move to the back body. You still want that bend in the knees. The more you actually bend in, the more space you can then create with your breath versus forcing it through automatically trying to straighten. This way you slowly ease into it. Nod your head yes, shake it no, let the tension of the neck release. And you can stay right where you're at and let the breath move on its own, and it's creating the work. You also have the option to grab onto your opposite elbows for ragdoll, creating some movement in the upper body, in the sides. You can also just hold ragdoll in the center, moving at a pace that feels good to you, where you are staying connected to your breath. The breath in itself has been constricted because your belly is on your thighs. So you may have to send the breath to different parts of the body, to the sides, the back of the heart. Redirect the flow of your breath in the body. Once again, let everything go. We meet in the center. Halfway lift, breathe in, straight spine, flat back. Let the shoulders be pulled back. Forward fold, exhale. Again, like that, halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, exhale. Slowly you return to stand, restacking each one of your vertebrae. Your head is last. You pause at the top. Together, breathe in and out. Amazing. You're going to go ahead and interlace fingers behind your back. We want to keep the shoulder blades wide. So you're basically as if you have a bent elbow to start. Bring the shoulders back. And then slowly, by pressing the knuckles towards the earth, will the base of your shoulder blades begin to kiss. Maybe your palms come together. Find the space that you have today in the shoulders and the upper chest. Gaze is neutral. Breathe in. and out. Inhale. Exhale, we forward fold, choosing to keep the bind. If it's too much, always let it go. Maybe your palms come closer together. Maybe your knuckles move towards the ceiling for an upper back and neck release. Play around with what feels good in your body right now. And again, everything that I offer is a suggestion for you to choose what's right for you. Noticing how the breath has shifted as the pose became a little bit more challenging. Can you smooth out your breath? Release everything you hang down in the center. Once again, option to do what you did last round, maybe something different. You can take figure eights with your hips, bending gently through one knee, straightening through the other. This will give you more space into the hips and the side body. Again, at how fast you move, stay connected to your breath. When something feels really like, ooh, pause there. Maybe take a breath or two. Starting to connect into the body at a slightly deeper level than when you first showed up. Wherever you are at, we're going to meet in the center. We're going to bend heavily through the right leg. Left leg starts to straighten. So right knee bent, left straightens. Halfway lift, get a little longer in the spine. Forward fold, exhale. Breathe in. Exhale, walk the hands over to the right. Left leg straightens maybe even a little more without locking out the knee. The right leg is bent. Play with the weight in your feet. Bring it to your ball mounds. Press down into the arches. See how that changes with each exhale. Inhale. Exhale, you turn back to center. Amazing. Pedal out the knees. And doing the opposite side, land with a bend in your left knee. Right leg starts to straighten. Halfway lift, get long. Forward fold, exhale, walking to the left. This side, you might not be able to go as far. Again, it is what is the capacity of your body right now. Let your head be heavy. Press down into the toes, the heel, the arch. Find the space in the side body and the hip. Breathe in and out. Excellent. Through center, you return. Let everything go. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, exhale. Once again, halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. This time you stand for Tadasana, big, tall, stretch up. Palms to the heart. And mountain pose. Inhale. Exhale. Awesome. We will put it all together, one breath per movement. I'm going to just take a sip. Didn't get a chance to drink my greens yet. All right, with that, if you want space between your feet, it'll give you more stability. You still want to press down into the arches and keep a nice bend in the knees. If you want a little challenge, you can bring the toes and the heels to touch. You zip up the inner thighs. Palms are down by our side, heart space is open, and the spine is long. Breathe in and out. Awesome. Tadasana, breathe in. Exhale, cactus. Bring the elbows down and back, opening up the heart. Inhale, reach up tall. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, exhale. Rise to stand, big, tall stretch up to the heart. Mountain pose. Breathe in and out. Amazing. Second round, a little slower, lengthening each breath in and out, deepening into the body. Tadasana, inhale. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, breathe in tall. Forward fold, release. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Root to rise for Tadasana. Big, tall stretch up. Back bend if you choose. To the heart. Mountain pose. Breathe in. Out. Third round, option to dedicate to yourself or maybe to someone else. Moving through honey, Tadasana, inhale. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach up tall. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, exhale. Tadasana, reach up tall, big stretch up to the heart. And mountain pose. Inhale. Exhale. Awesome. All right. So for balance today, I think we're going to do a little mini warrior sequence. So with that, I'm going to have you starting at the back of your mat. Spine is long. You're going to stay anchored into the left foot to start since I'm facing this way. So with that, we're going to start with one leg in Tadasana. So all four corners of your left foot are on your mat. Nice bend into the knee and your core is tight. So squeeze and bring everything into the center. Once you have the foundation, you can slowly start to bring the right knee up to start finding your balance. Energetically, you want to bring everything into the midline, maybe hands on hips, hands at heart center, whatever would support you to help energetically draw the threads to find your own center, your balance. You might need to anchor deeper into the supporting leg. What feels like would be best for you to find your center. Once that feeling is in the body, we're going to step the right foot forward, take a big, big step forward. And from there, the left foot, is going to automatically open up at a 45-degree angle to one of the corners of the room on the left side. From here, you're going to go and start to find a bend in the front knee so it stacks over your ankle. Knee over ankle, and you're pressing down into the knife edge of your left foot. Torso's now going to turn towards the front. We're preparing for warrior one. Open back hip, closed front hip. Arms are going to come forward and up. Biceps back by the ears, just like how we started class. Fingertips reach towards the ceiling. You're pressing down into the feet. Should be able to wiggle out the toes. Each exhale, you find a little more depth. Breathe through the warrior one. Together, inhale and exhale. Beautiful. You'll pitch your chest forward. Arms swing back for flying warrior. Gazes down to your mat. Pinkies come together again, like we had our bind behind our back, that same motion with your arms long. Breathe in and out. To warrior one for a full round. Inhale. Sink a little deeper. Exhale. Now you're going to open up to the left side of your room. You're going to readjust your feet. Your back foot is now parallel to the back of your mat. Your front foot toes are perpendicular, so they're facing forward. Both hip points are open to the left, and you're in between two pieces of glass. You're going to bend into the front knee, your right knee. Stack it once again. Shoulders are relaxed, chest is open, and then we can bring in the arms. Beautiful. Gaze then turns just from the neck over top of your front middle finger. Let the shoulders relax. Once again, you're sinking a little deeper with each exhale. Warrior two. Breathe into it. Notice any tension in the body. Inhale. Exhale. Reverse warrior. Left arm drops. Rainbow the arm to the back of the room. Right arm, so you have a right side body stretch. You are still bent into the front knee. Chest stays open. Reach long out of the arm. Breathe in. Out. Warrior two for a full round. Relax the shoulders. Reset. Bend maybe even a hair deeper into the front. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Turn to the left. Toes in, heels out. Star pose. Big stretch up. Reaching for the ceilings. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Let everything release. Wide-legged forward fold. You'll feel this deeper into the outer ankles and the calves. You can stay right where you're at. Maybe walk your hands back. Letting you catch your breath. Smooth it back out again. Amazing. We meet in the center. Press down into the feet. Halfway lift. Breathe in. Forward fold. Exhale. Hands can come to your hips if you want to challenge. Press down into the feet. Inhale all the way up to stand. And then find your way back to the bottom of your mat. Amazing. Opposite side. Give yourself a second just to reset. Notice how that was. And we'll do the same sequence, but facing the opposite direction. With that, we're going to start anchored into the right foot. Left leg is just there for support for a second. Core comes in, spine long, roll the shoulders back, energetically start to find your center, and then scoop up your left knee, finding one-legged Tadasana. We start with finding the balance first on this side, since it is a little different. Our sides are like sisters. Even identical twins aren't the same. So we want to just come to the side with an openness to see what comes up for you now. Once you feel stable, left foot starts to step forward, big step, and then the right toes turn out a little bit so that you find your 45 degree in the back right foot. Left foot comes over top of, left knee comes over top of the ankle so that it is stacked. Right hip is open this time, left hip is closed. Press down into the feet. Find length in the spine. Each exhale, you are opening and expanding the body. Beautiful. Torso comes to stack now. Shoulders are stacked over the hips, and the arms come up. Warrior one. A few breaths to settle in. Notice if there's any discomfort, if the body is fidgeting, see if you can smooth out the breath. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale. Chest pitches forward, arms fly back. Flying warrior, gaze down to your mat. Breath in. And out. Resetting back through center, reaching long through the body. Warrior one, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Opening up now to your right hand side. We readjust the feet. Back foot is perpendicular. Back foot is parallel. Front toes are perpendicular. And the left knee is going to stack over the ankle. Chest is open. To the right. Both hips this time are open. Readjust until you feel the hips starting to square. And then you'll bring the arms out. Relax the shoulders. Get yourself in between those two pieces of glass. And gaze to the front middle finger. Warrior two. Breathe into it. Left quad might start to burn already, since it's already had some work. Embrace the shake. Reverse the warrior. Right arm drops down. Left rainbows to the back. Side bend. Press in. Stay bent through the front knee. Inhale. And exhale. Back through center. Warrior two. Inhale. Exhale. Through center. Toes in, heels out once again. Facing towards the right. Big stretch up, star pose. Inhale. Wide-legged. Exhale all the way down. You might want stillness again. Maybe you want some movement. You can pedal out through the knees. Tuning into your body right now after maybe even it's just like I said, getting the breath back into ease. Start to wrap things up. Find your way in the center. Let everything go. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Hands to the hips again if you want the challenge. Press into the feet. Bring yourself back up. And then stand again at the bottom of your mat or top. Awesome. We will find our way down onto our mat. If you want a sip of water, now is a great time. You're going to find your way seated. Legs are going to be out long. Find your sits bones, move the fleshy part of your glutes out of the way. Spine is long. Feet floppy, nice generous bend in the knees. Take a breath in. Exhale, tuck the chin into the chest and roll your way down into a forward fold, rounded through the spine. Doming out the back of the heart, shoulder blades become wider. And each exhale, you start to just ease into the forward fold, sending your breath to the back of the heart. You can play with the angle of your chin, bringing it in slightly will actually intensify the stretch. Let the shoulders be relaxed, arms are heavy. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Slowly bring yourself back up into a seat. Bring the hands behind you and just begin to shake out the legs, circulating some of that heaviness out of them from the little sequence we did. You'll point and flex through the toes, find some mobility into the ankles. And then maybe in and out, moving from the hip socket. Beautiful. You'll then press yourself back up and start to just pat out down through the legs, moving the energy out of your fascia, that web-like layer in the legs, in the skin, below the skin surface, and then just massage all the way up and down. Amazing. From here, you'll keep your right leg out long. Left will come in for seated tree. Flexing through the right toes. Spine is long. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Pitch the chest forward. Reach the chest towards your toes. Getting into the outer hip. Definitely in the hamstring and the calf. With your breath, again, you're looking for that edge. Adding in a twist if you would like. Left hand to the ankle, right arm swings behind. Take a peek down at your mat. Breathe into the left hip a little more. Maybe even take the gaze back to your hip. That just slight change in where you're looking intensifies or is a progression to the pose. Inhale and exhale. Excellent. Untwist, come back through center. You meet with both of your soles of the feet to touch in butterfly pose. Let's give a little love to our feet and just move some of the energy in between your toes. Massage out the arches, maybe up to the ankles. And then readjust yourself, flapping out the knees just like wings will soften and let go of some tension into the hip socket. You'll pause then in stillness, give yourself some length, get taller, breathe in. Exhale, tuck the chin into the chest and find your way down into a forward fold, rounded through the spine. Back of the heart is reaching up towards the ceiling. Again, elbows coming to the outside of your shins if you have some space. Same as we did with the legs long. Each exhale, you're trying to find your way a little deeper. Bringing the chin into the chest maybe a little bit more. It's whatever it might be for you in this moment. Inhale. Exhale. Roll yourself back up into a seat. Left leg goes out long, right comes in. Flex through the toes. Find the straight spine. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, seated tree on the left. Spine is long, getting into the right hip this time, reaching your chest, getting into the hamstring and the calf. Adding on if you wish, right hand to the ankle, left arm swings behind, peek down to your mat. Breathe in, out. Untwist through center. You'll find your way up at the top of the mat so you can slowly work your way down, flat on your back. Your knees can be bent, legs can be out long. Either way works for right now, just as a moment to check in with yourself. Let yourself be as heavy as possible on your mat and just pause. The shifts that have happened from the moment you stepped on your mat till now, just bring them into your awareness. Do you feel a deeper connection? Is your breath any different? Do you feel more nourished, at peace, in the vibration of love? Together we take a clearing breath in. Let something go out. Excellent. If your legs are out long, bring them in, plant them on your mat out wide at the edges of your mat, and begin to windshield wiper the knees side to side, creating some mobility into the hips, circulating side to side. Amazing. We will find stillness and bring both knees into the chest, massaging out your lower back, pressing the sacrum into your mat. Gentle circles are an option, staying still, whatever feels good to you right now. Amazing. Do a couple twists. Right knee comes in, left leg works its way out to straight. Point through the toe, right knee out towards your armpit. Breathe in. Exhale, twist over to the left. Right shoulder stays down. Maybe you peek over your right shoulder. Breathe into this twist. Each exhale, seeing if you can fall a little deeper. Together, breathe in and out. Excellent. You return to center to reset. Both knees come in for a moment. Holding on to the left knee, right leg works its way out to straight. Again, point through the toes first. Find the opening in the hip. Left knee comes out towards the armpit. Find some mobility into the ankle if you wish. Breathe in. Exhale, twist to your right. Left knee comes over to the right. Left shoulder down. And you're gazing to the left hand if you wish to twist through the neck. Ease into it. Breath softens the pose. Inhale. Exhale. Return through center one more time. Let the knees stack over top of your hips and they fall wide for happy baby. Grab onto any part of the leg, ankle, maybe your feet. Let them stamp on the ceiling with the knees out wide. You want your lower back on your mat as well as your chin tucked to keep length in the spine. The body might then start to rock and sway. Let this bring some ease into your nervous system. As we start to slow things down, let this start to work from the inside. Staying connected into your breath. Each exhale, knees fall a little bit deeper and wider. Beautiful. Find stillness, release your legs, arms and legs go up to the ceiling for dead bug. Go ahead and just shake out the arms and the heaviness out of your limbs. Let there be a floppy wrist and ankles. Press the hips down, the shoulders down. Let the body be heavy as the blood starts to flow back into the heart. Starting to bring everything into a deeper sense of rest. Breathe in and out. Amazing. Bring everything into a tight little ball. Forehead comes towards the knees. Create a little tension. And then slowly start to let everything go, finding your final resting pose. You're going to take up some space with the legs. Let your feet be floppy. Arrange and fix any piece of clothing that might be uncomfortable so that it can let you to settle in a little deeper. You're going to let the shoulders be out of the ears, palms facing up for an open heart. We lift the head, tuck the chin, and I want you to begin to soften the muscles in your body. With each exhale, becoming a little deeper, one with your mat. Easing in, slowing things down. Start to allow the body and the breath to be soft. Relax the muscles in your face and your jaw. Maybe a slight space between your teeth. Giving yourself this time to integrate your practice. There is nothing left to do, just to be. I will guide you out in a few. Shavasana. Gently bring awareness to your breath, lengthening, deepening the inhale and the exhale. Find some small movements in the fingers and the toes, a rock of your head side to side, bringing yourself back into space, noticing your mat below you. Find your way over into a fetal position on either side, knees into your chest, head resting on your arm like a little pillow, and just pause in this pose of new beginnings. This version of you, which has never existed, is here and now. Maybe connected towards it in a new light you had never noticed before. And there's old beliefs, conditioning, emotions that have run their course that are no longer in alignment with where you're going. Something maybe came up in your practice for you to recognize, release, and let go. This is the practice. With that, you give gratitude for everything you have and everything you don't have, knowing you are whole and complete just as you are. And then you will bring yourself back up into a seat, finding Sukhasana. Your spine stays long, crown reaching up towards the heavens. Eyes are closed or a soft gaze as we join hands back at heart center, thumbs into the sternum, and you bow in reverence to this moment. Once again, we collect all of our energy and your intention. We send it out into the field so it comes back to you tenfold. Take a breath in. Let it go. Exhale. It is truly an honor to be your guide. Thank you for showing up and bringing your energy. The light and love in me sees the light and love in you. May miracles find you today and every day. Namaste.